Francois Legault and his Coalition Avenir Québec party, handing him a second majority government. Now here at the Liberal Party headquarters in Montreal, excitement has been in the room as the party has once again secured official opposition status. Now I'm joined by political analyst and former federal Liberal MP Eleni Bakopanos. Thank you so much for joining us, Eleni.
Well, it was an interesting night, Alyssia, that we spent at Liberal headquarters.
Absolutely. So what are you feeling? What are your thoughts about the results in terms of the CAQ and Francois Legault? Any surprises?
Definitely Mr. Legault is not crying. Obviously, he's very happy with the results, but I don't think they were exactly the results he expected. I think the CAQ had been projecting, and a lot of the polls were showing that he was going to win over 100 seats. He's not near there. At that moment, 88 was the last figure I saw, but it could be, you know, there's a few fights still going on. But obviously, he's happy he won his second mandate. I think, though, he might be surprised about some of the other results. And I think the big winner tonight, if you want my opinion, is Dominic LeBlanc. I think the last week of the campaign, with some of the comments that had been made by some of the CAQ minister in particular, the immigration minister, may have moved a lot of Francophone votes. The Anglophones and the Allophones wouldn't have voted, I think, in majority for the CAQ. But I think it pushed them to either go out and vote, and we don't know what the statistics are going to be. But I think it also moved, because if you look at some ridings that the Liberals won, Anjou, for example, or Marquette, or Verdun, I think it had something to do with a movement that was other than the Anglophone and the Francophone, although I think a lot of the Anglophone and Allophones did finally decide to go out and vote after they heard some of those racist remarks. But I think the big winner tonight, in my opinion, was Dominic LeBlanc. I mean, she got to keep her seat. She's staying on as leader of the Quebec Liberals, and they are the official opposition with a good number. I mean, it was projected that she was only going to win 13 seats. She's at 22. That may change again, like I said. I think also one of the biggest losers, Alyssia, is the Conservative Party. I think Mr. Duham expected at least 1 or 2 seats to win, but Quebecers rejected, I think, the values and principles that the Conservative Party presents, because he had a lot of very controversial candidates, non-vaxxers, a lot of issues that Quebecers cannot relate to. So he's totally out of the picture for the moment. Anyway, I'm not saying forever. You can never say that. Another person who should be happy is, of course, Monsieur Plamondon. He actually won his seat, and I think that's a big win for him, considering that they had the Parti Québécois at 0.
We'll continue the analysis, but first, let's hear from Liberal leader Dominic LeBlanc addressing Quebecers tonight.
And let me be clear, we will represent all Quebecers from all strides.
Eleni, even if recent polls had the Liberals neck and neck with other parties, the win for them tonight as official opposition came fairly quickly in the evening. What do you think about that? Did Quebecers, Liberal voters, turn out to vote for them?
Well, we won't know that until we see the final results, but the actual percentage of the vote they had was not very high. It was close to 15% is the last figure I saw. That may change again. But I do think there was a movement, as I said, in all those different areas. The Anglophones got more motivated after some of the comments. The Allophones, obviously, some of the racist comments about immigration and immigrants in Quebec. And I also think a lot of the Francophones, who are not necessarily separatists, wanted to give Dominic LeBlanc and the Liberals another chance. But it was certainly came early, which was unpredictable. I mean, I don't think any of the pollsters predicted that. But I think the Liberal Party owes its victory to the type of campaign that Dominic LeBlanc did the last 2 weeks of the campaign. She worked really, really hard. She was very present. She also took on Mr. Legault about the divisive discourse that he was using. And you heard tonight that one of her main lines was, she's the party for all groups, okay? All type of Quebecers can feel comfortable in the fold of the Quebec Liberal Party. And that's a very good message for a leader. I think most leaders should be rassembleurs. They should be uniting people, not dividing. And I think that message did resonate in the end, and she kept repeating it in all the debates she was doing during the campaign. So to her credit.
Thank you so much, Eleni. We'll have more from you coming up in a bit.